Hey guys, welcome back. In this lecture, we will create an API only application in Rails 7 and then add authentication using device and device JWT gems. Okay, there is one more gem known as device token auth and used for authenticating API only application or token authentication. But I have worked with that gem in Rails 6 and Rails 5 API only applications. Okay, because the gem is not supported by the Rails 7 as of now. So we're gonna use two separate gems, that is gem device and device JWT. Okay, so let's start with the implementation. So first switch to the terminal, and here what you need to do, you need to generate a new API only application. So here you can write, let's say Rails new, and then auth API. Okay, you can provide any name as per your choice, but I am just providing auth API here, and just provide a flag that is hyphen hyphen API. Okay, and this flag denotes that you want to generate an API only application, and if you forget to generate this forget to provide this flag, then you will get a full stack application generated by Rails. Okay, so just write this command and press enter. Now once the app has been generated, let's switch to the project. Okay, so cd and then project name, that is auth API. Okay, and open this project into your preferred text editor. I'm opening this in Sublime. Now open the gem file and add two gems into your gem file. So just go to the gem file and come to the bottom of this file and add gem device and device and gem device JWT, gem device and then JWT. Okay, and since our app is API only application, so we need to uncomment one more gem, that is rec course. Okay, because now in API only application we will get request from some other front end apps or some other React or Vue apps like. Okay, so we need to uncomment this record gem because we now only get the Ajax request. Okay, so just uncomment this and save, and now come to the terminal and then run the bundle install bundle. And while the bundle is running, just switch to the project directory again and go to the config directory, and here what you need to check, just go to the initializer and open the course.rb. Okay, and here you can see that this is the course block, and here we need to replace this example.rb with example.com with an asterisk sign. Okay, and here you can see that what resources we have. So asterisk and headers is any methods we have: get, post, put, patch, delete, options, head. And now we need to add one more key value pair here, that is expose, and we need to expose the authorization token here. Okay, so authorization here and save it. We will use this authorization for authenticating our API request. Okay, so we need to expose this. So do that and save the file and come to the terminal again. Okay, so you can see that bundle has been run. Now what we need to generate, we need to generate the device initializer. So run the command rails g device and then install. Okay, this command will generate a device initializer file for you and some configuration command for your application. So you can see that the device initializer has been generated. Now just see the first point, that config.action mailer default URL options. Okay, so we just need to copy this line and go to the project directory and open the development.rb, and into the development.rb come to the bottom of the file, and here you need to add this line. So just paste it here and save it. Okay, now since our app is API only application, so what we need to make sure that navigational formats must be empty. Okay, because we are not dealing with a full stack app now. Okay, so just open the device.rb again, and into this device.rb, sorry, not open the again, we are opening it in first time. Okay, so in this devise.rb, just find for the navigational format, and you can see that this is the line 266 navigational formats. Okay, so just uncomment this line and remove everything from this array and save it as empty array. Okay, and that's it for now. Now it's time to generate the user model using device. Okay, so we need to run the command to generate the device model. So what we can run here, rails g device and then user. Okay, run this model and this will generate a model for device. And the model has been generated. Now you can see that how we can generate device controllers or views. So we just need to replace these views with controllers, because we need two controllers here as well for device, that is sessions and registrations, because we do some customization there as well. Okay, so just to generate the sessions and registrations controller, that is rails g device controllers, and you need to make sure to pass the scope of the device here. So what scope we can provide, we can provide users here, because we have the user model, so we can provide users as a scope. So rails g device controllers users and then hyphen c and add sessions and registrations. Why? Because we only need these two attributes, sessions and registration. Because for now in our API only app, we gonna handle only sign up of the user, sign in of the user, and sign out of the user. And we know that we can get the sign in and sign out actions inside the sessions controller. And for sign up action, we need the registration controller. Okay. So you must pass this using hyphen C option. Okay, and you can see that it device has generated only two controllers, that is sessions controller and registrations controller. But if you do not provide this option, okay, then the device will generate all the controllers for the provided scope, and that is passwords controller, unlocks controllers, confirmations controller, callbacks controller, omniauth controllers, and we don't know everything. We just need sessions for managing sign in and sign out, and registrations for handling the sign up or registration process. Okay, so just save this. Okay, now let's discuss the JWT gem in brief. Okay, so come to the browser and search for the device JWT gem. So you can find device JWT Rails and open the first link that you will see for device JWT gem. And here you can see that this gem has some documentation. Here it has mentioned that device JWT is a device extension which uses JWT token for user authentication, and it follows secure by default principle. Okay, and one more important thing that is to know that this gem is just a replacement for cookies when these cannot be used. Okay, as with cookies, a device JWT token will mandatorily have an expiration time. Okay, so whenever you generate a new token, you need to set some expiration time for that. Okay, now let's scroll this repository for some further updates. That here you can see that we need to use some revocation strategies into our user model. Okay, so here is the installation guide that we already done, that we you just need to add this device JWT gem and run the bundle install. But make sure whenever you use this gem, you must have device installed in your application. Okay, because sometimes it might be possible that you have created an API application or a Rails application where you have device. Okay, and you are working fine with the user registration and session and logout management, but after some time you need to use some token authentication for your user model, or for your device model, then you need to additionally add this gem. Okay, so this is how you can do that. Okay, but in our case we just added both device and device JWT together, so we don't need, we can skip this installation process. Okay, and now here you can see that there are some secret key configuration for JWT secret, and you must use them in your device.rb. Okay, and we also do that into our application as well, but we will do this lecture. First we need to explore some revocation strategies. Okay, so here you need to come to the bottom, and here you can see that revocation strategies. So device JWT provide three different type of revocation strategies, sorry, that is JTI measure and the deny list and the allowed list. Okay, but we will use the this JTI measure, so we can skip for the allowed list and deny list, because both other strategies like deny list and allow list requires an additional table to be created and an additional model to be created, but we will use JTI matcher and we will handle everything into the user model itself. Okay, so just need to add a migration, okay, where we need to add JTI column into our user model. Okay, so just switch to the terminal again and run a migration, that is rails g migration, and add JTI to users. Okay, and run this migration, and this will create an empty migration, and we need to add the column and index ourselves. So just to copy the migrate folder, and here you can do open this add JTI to users and just add column here, add column and then to users JTI, and it must be string and must be null false, and then add index users JTI. Okay, and then unique truth, and now our migration has been set up, so we need to run the migration, so it will create both user table and add this JTI attribute to the user table as well. So just come to the terminal and run rails db migrate and press the enter. When you run this migration, now open your schema.rb and you can see into the schema.rb you have the user table and the additional attribute JTI has been added, and an index for the JTI has been added already. Okay, so JTI name index users on JTI. Okay, now open the user model and add some configuration there, or just do some configuration into the user model. So switch to the app directory and open the user model, and into the user model, what we need to do here, you need to add some JWT revocation strategy. Okay, so just open the JAM documentation again, and here you can see that you need to include this revocation strategies as JTI measure. So just copy this and paste it into the top of the user model. Okay, top of the file into the user model. Okay, so first come to the into the class. Okay, and then you need to add these modules, that is JWT authenticable and JWT revocation strategy as self. Okay, because we are not going to use any additional table here, so just copy this and paste it here after the validatable. Okay, if you wish you can remove the recoverable, rememberable and validatable modules as well, but if you keep them, there is nothing wrong in it. Okay, so I'm just keeping them and adding the JWT authenticable and JWT revocation strategy as extra thing. Okay, so save this, and now we need to just add this method, that is JWT payload. Okay, because you can see that in the gem documentation that this revocation strategy JTI matcher make use of JWT payload method in user model. Okay, so if you need to use, don't forget to call super. Okay, so we can just copy this method, that is JWT payload, and we can paste it here, and here you can see that it has passed some extra argument using the merge method, but for now we are not going to pass any extra attribute, so we can only use with super. So just do this and save the file. Now let's come to the JWT configuration into our device. Okay, so first open the routes.rb, and into the routes.rb what you need to do, first remove all these commented lines because we don't need them. Since we generated our sessions and users controllers, a registration controller for the user resource, so we need to mention them here that what controller they're going to use. Okay, if you do not mention, then it will use the registration and session controller exist in the device model, but since we need to customize them for our purpose, so we need to mention the controllers here. So what we can do, controllers, and then just provide the controller key value pair, that is sessions, and sessions must point to the users and sessions. Okay, and registrations, and it must point to the users registrations, and save this now. Sorry, just remove this comma. This is a mistake, and save this. Now open the device.rb again, and here we need to set our JWT configuration that we discussed into the gem document initially, that you can see into the gem document again, that what configuration you need to do, secret key configurations. Okay, so we can just copy this and just put it here. Okay. Since we do not have any env device JWT secret key kind of thing, so we can remove this and we will just use the secret key base provided by the Rails credentials. Okay, so just use Rails dot application. Okay, dot credentials. Okay, Rails dot application dot credentials dot fetch, and then what we can provide is secret key base. Secret key base. Okay, and just to check the value of this, you can just open your Rails console. So go to the terminal, run the Rails C command, and just to paste this line, rails.application.credentials.fetch secret key base. Okay, so just open this into the terminal. Sorry. So there is some error. You can see that I think I made some mistake into the routes.rb. So come to the routes. Oh yeah, there is some mistake. So remove this column and now save the routes.rb and now generate the Rails console command. Okay, and now this should work fine. And because we removed that mistake, so if you just follow this, so make sure that you just use the users and registrations. Okay, so now you can check its value here. So this is the secret key base that we're going to use for the JWT secret. If you want to provide any additional secret key, okay, or any additional key that as a secret for JWT token, then you can edit that in your environment file or in your credential file, or you can use some .env and use that file as well. Okay, for example, let me show you that how you can generate the additional secret. So you can use the command rake secret. Okay, and when you run this command, this will, okay, run the Rails secret command actually. So you will get a key like this, so you can use this. Okay, sorry, I just used the rake secret command, but we know that this will not work for the rake, will not work for the Rails versions after 4. Okay, so you need to run Rails secret and you can get a key like this into your system, and you can use this as a secret key, or you can handle this in any device, sorry, it's env file or into the credentials file. Okay, so now come to the device.rb again. Okay, so what we did for now, that we just added the JWT secret. Okay, now we need to handle some JWT dispatch requests. Okay, so you can use JWT, sorry, JWT dot dispatch requests, and just provide this as array here. Okay, and into the array, what you need to mention, first post. Okay, and then provide a regular expression here, so percent %r, and into the r we need to provide the login path, that is user slash sign underscore in. Okay, so we can provide it like, let's say, users, remove one slash from here, users slash sign underscore in, and then dollar symbol. Okay, so just to save this, and now what we need to provide, we need to provide the revocation request that must be delete, or when a authorization token has been revoked. Okay, so jwt dot revocation requests. Okay, and then set equal to and provide an array here, and here we need to handle the sign out URL. So what we can provide, the request type first, delete, and then add a regular expression for this as well, percent %r, and into this, what we need to provide users, then sign out. Okay, so sorry, add this and users, and then sign underscore out. Okay, and save this. So we set the JWT secret, dispatch requests, and revocation requests for now. And as the last thing, what we need to set, that is JWT dot expiration time. That is the expiration time of your authentication token or authorization token. So just add a line break, and we need to add JWT dot expiration time, and you can add it, let's say 100 minutes from now, or just keep it for 2 hours. So 120 minutes dot 2i. Okay, so the authorization token will be valid once it is generated, and after next 2 hours it is valid. Okay, so just save this. Okay, and at this stage we are half done. So what we did so far, that we added the required gems into our application, that is rec course, device, and device jwt. We configured the course.rb, and we configured the development.rb as well, and we set the required configuration into our device.rb for both devise.jwt and devise.navigational formats. Okay, and we added the jti into our user model, user schema as well, and we configured the user model for using the revocation strategies and jwt authenticable as well. Okay, and then we set up the routes as well. Until this stage we are half done. Now let's wait for the next lecture to get this authentication process finished. Okay, so thanks for watching this, and don't miss out the next lecture. Till then, tata, goodbye, take care, and stay safe.